It is time for the top 10. These are the only trades you need to know about today as we head towards the opening bell. Now, number 10 is Pandora, the internet music player, up in the pre-market after being raised to outperform at Raymond James, which cited mobile monetization and more customers signing up for the service. A fancy way, Dom, of basically saying that they're making money off of mobile.
Oh, fancy is one thing, but one thing that's not fancy, number 9, Dollar Tree. The discount chain shares are lower in the pre-market following ratings cuts to neutral at Nomura and a hold at Deutsche Bank after a 30% climb so far this year. So watch Dollar Tree shares. Alex, off to you.
Yeah, I'm watching Activision Blizzard. Vivendi announced it would seek a buyer for its $8.1 billion majority stake in the video game maker. That's according to a person familiar with the situation. Betty.
And Apollo, not the private equity firm, but the for-profit educator, climbing in the pre-market after a judge struck down a federal rule which tried to limit federal grants to for-profit colleges. Means more money to them. Sheila.
Well, number 6 is Lincare Holdings. Lincare is soaring in the pre-market after Germany's Linde announced it will be acquiring the therapy services company for a cool $3.8 billion. Alex, over to you.
You bet it. I'm watching oil declining in New York as speculation turns a bit more bearish. That's after last week's surge. It was the biggest in 3 years. Oil is also correcting slightly amid slowing growth in China and a deepening slump in Europe. Betty, over to you.
Alex, well, Micron, the tech company, is your number 4. It announced to buy a bankrupt Japanese chip maker for $2.5 billion. The chip maker is a supplier for Apple, and the acquisition could help Micron avert price swings that fueled 4 straight quarter losses.
Yeah, and number 3, Betty, is Amylin Pharmaceuticals. Shares of the company are getting a huge boost in the pre-market after Bristol Myers Squibb announced that it will purchase the diabetes drug maker in a $5.3 billion deal, in the largest deal this year for the industry. Off to you, Sheila.
Well, I'm going to stick with more M&A Monday because number 2 is Dell, the computer giant, announcing it is buying Quest Software, a computer systems programming company, after a bidding war with Insight. Dell will pay $2.4 billion to complete this acquisition. Betty?
And number 1 is Barclays. Marcus Agius, the chairman of Britain's second largest bank by assets, has resigned after the company was fined a record $455 million following a probe into its LIBOR manipulation or interest rate manipulation. Since the fine was announced, the value of the bank has dropped almost 17%. So watch trading in its shares.